So now I'm doing the end gap for the piston, and you can see I'm putting the Vertex piston in. What you've got to do here is read information. This is what the manufacturer is saying about their product. Okay, this is a Nickel line coating cylinder. I took the X and Y measurements. Basically what you do is just get yourself a caliper. You go in 3 spots, 1, 2, 3, one below the exhaust and the intake port, then one up above, and then one at the top, and that will give you the required dimensions of what your cylinder is be. So you take your X, then you take your Y. It's just a 90 to it, and this one reads out, and you can also tell, you can't, it looks really good. You can tell that the coating, the nickel coating, is intact, but just because something looks good doesn't mean that it is, and that's why you do the measuring. Okay, so now I stuck this piston in. You see here, this arrow goes to the exhaust. That's the exhaust. This is the intake. So I stuck, this is where the end gap is right here, so that would be there. I simply took the ring and pushed it down to where it would just clear. Then I took the required gauges to measure this piston and cylinder clearance, and I'm supposed to have from 0.05 to 0.06. If you can see here, that's 0.05 millimeter, 0.06. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but okay, so the 5, this is kind of tricky with one hand, fits in there, and the 6 fits in there, just fits in there. If I can get this right. We're going to have to try this again here. Okay, so it goes in there. Okay. It's not a lot of slop. You can tell real close it's got its notch, and then it comes to a little point. That's what's going to sit inside the stopper here for this ring. So why is this important? As the cylinder heats up, it's made out of a different material than the piston, so everything expands, and that's why you have to have a certain amount of gap, because it allows for the cylinder expansion to the piston expansion, so you have clearance. What happens if you didn't have that and it was too tight? Well, you'd probably blow up your piston. Basically, it'd start chipping around the piston. It'd probably blow up. It'd scratch the hell out of the cylinder. It wouldn't be pretty. The other opposite of the spectrum, if the gap was too big, well, that means that your cylinder obviously is too big, but you'd have massive blow-by. All of your compression would be coming right out of your exhaust. You wouldn't have very good compression at all. And if you don't have good compression, you're not getting the lubrication. It causes all kinds of problems. It starts falling really bad too. Another kind of symptom you would see. You'd see the two-stroke oil basically coming right out the exhaust. So that's that part of it. we'll put it back together, and then we're going to check the deck height. I'm going to show you to do that with base gaskets. You can adjust it, and then we're also going to do a Z dimension measurement. And that measurement, if you can see in here, is the power valve. Opening up and down. So there's a measurement for that too, and we're going to get that adjusted. So that's it for now. Like I said, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a rocket scientist, but if you just do a little reading, you'll understand that each time you do another project, everything is usually kind of the same way on these pistons. They'll have a marking. This arrow means to the exhaust. Here's your exhaust. You know that you're going to have some kind of ring gap for expansion. You know you're going to have to set your Z dimension if it's got a power valve. You know you're going to have to adjust your ignition timing. These are really easy things to do on a two-stroke. I think I had another video too where I said something that if you start changing your pipe, you start putting aftermarket parts on a different pipe, different exhaust, maybe a bigger carburetor, maybe a different type of carburetor, you're going to have to allow for that jetting. And that's all I got for now, and we'll check in with you a little bit later for another part of this, putting this bike together. Thanks for watching.